What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now today, I actually heard some pretty depressing news. Now again, on this channel, you guys already know this, it's all opinion based. So clearly, I might not be right, I might be right. Who knows what the outcome of this is going to be. But again, I'm going to give my personal opinion. It's up to you guys to go down in the comment section and leave your personal opinions. Try not to be rude. Try not to be mean. Again, like I said, nobody's right in this situation. We can only observe and come up with ideas about this topic. Now, over on Twitter, Charlie Intel put out a tweet saying, a new rumor claims that Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer will be revealed in September. Now again, I can completely see why someone would think this is positive. You're probably thinking, JB, how could you possibly be negative about the situation? All they are doing is giving us the reveal date for multiplayer. Whoop-de-frickin-do. They're saying that multiplayer will be revealed in September, so how is that even negative? Well, my problem for this whole situation is that the launch of the game is going to be happening 1 month after the reveal of multiplayer. Now, usually in this type of situation, that is bad. Typically, when a development team is pretty positive and, they feel good about their product, they are ready to push it out to the consumers. Game developers, along with anybody else who wants to be in an artistic field, are very passionate individuals. You can't go into game development without having any passion. That's a very crucial aspect to, just a personality. You need that in order to be successful in that field. So these people who are making these games for us love what they're doing. They are passionate about these projects. They want to show off all the work that they're doing. So when they wait until 1 month before the launch of a game, typically that makes me think that they are not confident enough to show their fan base what they are producing, especially when they know their fan base is already on edge from the last 3 introductions you had in the series. Now, there is a valid argument that it's not the developers' fault. It comes down to the publishers. The publishers say that they are not allowed to expose anything about the game. They can't show any behind-the-scenes details. They are basically on a schedule. That's why I always hate, AAA developed games, because it's more than just the developers, and everybody always forgets that. I made that one video about Skate being free to play and how it's being designed, obviously, like all the other games, by EA, one of the scummiest companies out there. And everybody's getting mad at me saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. The developers are very passionate. I'm going crazy. And don't get me wrong. I know the developers are passionate. I'm extremely excited to see the work that they're doing. But there's more to a AAA game than just the developers. It's the publishers as well. So a fair argument is the publishers are the ones that aren't allowing the developers to talk out about their game. Because, if they go ahead and talk out about it, they could potentially lose their role and get fired from the development team. And that's the last thing that anybody wants to happen. But if you really think about it, it would benefit the publishers as well to make sure gameplay reveals, gameplay trailers, all that type of stuff gets revealed earlier on, because it looks good to the shareholders who are investing in these publishers. Because if you can post early gameplay and it looks fantastic, then that means the game is in a solid state. It's probably going to make a ton of money, and guess what? The publishers are going to make bank because more people are going to invest in their company. So you would think that Activision would want to push Modern Warfare 2, but instead they're playing it extremely safe by not going ahead and pushing out any content whatsoever. It's basically coming down to, as always, the leakers. People who are data mining behind the scenes on games like Call of Duty Mobile, which was a fantastic source to show a ton of behind the scenes footage and, maps, everything that you could possibly want when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, and also the next Black Ops title as well, I believe, in 2024. It's insane how much they accidentally leaked out there. Sometimes it makes me think that the developers do want to expose what's going on in these games, so they have to sneak it behind the scenes like this, so data miners are able to pick it up and show the rest of the community. It really makes me think that so they can do it under the radar from Activision. But, like I said, at the same time, regardless if it's developers, if it's an actor, I don't care who it is, they are not proud enough of their product to push it to the front door for everybody to witness. Now, there is another fair argument that they already did put out gameplay. As you all know, campaign gameplay was revealed for Modern Warfare 2, giving us pretty much, a good, a quarter of a mission, I would say, showcasing the animations, the AI, multiple different weapons, and just how the overall game is looking. And that was in early alpha footage, and I'll be honest with you guys, even though, I'm leaning more towards the negative side on this video, the early alpha footage looked really good when it came to the campaign side of things. It looked pretty polished, it looked clean, I enjoyed the animations, and honestly, it looked slightly better than Modern Warfare 2019. But that is only the campaign. And campaign is extremely easy to get official gameplay of because there's a lot less pressure on the game. You see, this is early pre-alpha footage, right? So the game is obviously not completely done. So if they're going to go ahead open up the servers, get multiplayer involved, open up all the weapons, all of the cheese that this game is going to have within it. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a mess. So what's the best alternative? Go into a campaign where there's the bare minimum of enemies, the bare minimum of teammates, because you're not playing, co-op. It's just you and a bunch of AI on your team. And it's all scripted events. Obviously, it's going to run 10 times better. There's going to showcase a lot less bugs, a lot less glitches. It's going to look way more clean, and that's what they want to showcase to their community. They don't want to show us multiplayer. They don't want to show us spec ops. They don't want to show us anything else that's going on within this game, because it will look absolutely disgusting to post real gameplay footage of it, because it's probably nowhere close to being done or complete. Now, when I say done or complete, I'm not talking about how the game looks. It's not in, the early build-up phase. As you could see in the gameplay trailer, it's obviously clean. They obviously have animation set up, the graphics are set, everything is looking good. But what I'm talking about is how the game is going to perform, how it's going to be, what the perk layout is going to look like, how toxic this game is going to be, the whole overall picture. Do you remember when Modern Warfare 2019 released? They didn't even give us a hint on how they're going to change up the whole formula. They showcased that game and hyped up the community in every possible way, and it worked. Then the game releases in the early beta. It did not have a minimap. The footsteps made you sound like an elephant. The time to kill was ridiculously fast. I'm talking about hardcore status and regular core, and you couldn't even see the outline of your characters. I mean, the whole thing was a mess at launch. That was their vision. That was exactly their vision, and the community had to complain enough to get it changed back. We got the minimap implemented back, even though it's not the same. The footsteps got toned down, even though not completely better. They are toned down compared to what they were day one. A lot of the things got fixed up within the game. It's still not completely perfect, but it took time to evolve it to that state. And the same cycle is happening here with Modern Warfare 2. We don't have any gameplay footage of multiplayer. We have no clue what multiplayer is going to look like, and they're saving it until the very last month. The last month, along with the beta as well. They're going to showcase the multiplayer gameplay, and they're going to have the beta shortly after, all in September, and then the game launches in October. Clearly, they don't care about what our feedback is as the community. Unlike all these other games who will happily put their games out in open beta multiple different times, pre-alphas multiple different times, allow their community to dig deep, try out the game, and actually give constructive criticism before putting it out for the official release. And here we are with COD, these cocky, snobby sons of bitches who will literally put out the game 1 month after. What are they going to be able to do within that 1 month of time? Seriously, what can they possibly do? I'm not talking about any, like I said, from the foundation changes, because you can't do that. If you mess with the foundation that late in the game, regardless, even if it's not a month until launch, what if they, did it a few months back and they had a beta? They still would not be able to change the foundation, because that would completely screw up the whole core game. Game development is not easy in any way, shape, or form. Coding is difficult as hell. So from the foundation, it can't be changed. But even when it comes down to the basic fundamentals of the game, what can you do in a month's lifespan? With all honesty, Modern Warfare 2 looks like it's turning out the same way as Battlefield 2042. They are both pulling in massive amounts of development teams to work on one singular game, when in the past, I would think that would be fantastic. More hands on deck means better title. But from what I saw with Battlefield 2042, current date, more hands on deck now means that you are in desperate need of help from as many developers as you could possibly find. And like you see here with Modern Warfare 2, it's the same exact deal. They have so many different development teams, even including Treyarch and Sledgehammer Games. They should be working on their own titles, but here they are still working on Modern Warfare 2 to make sure it gets pushed out in a proper form. Also, only CGI footage. They only want to show us the best of the best, which is obviously going to be cutscenes. I mean, what else is the cleanest looking in Call of Duty? Once again, campaigns never go wrong. I don't think I've really hated any of the Call of Duty campaigns, truthfully. Maybe some of them were, ridiculously average, but I never thought any of them were trash because they put such a huge budget behind them. But clearly, that's what they're going to show. They're going to show absolute CGI-only events or show in-game footage, which is only in campaign because that's the best way to run the engine without completely crashing the game. Which pretty much is exactly how Battlefield 2042 was advertised as well. And here we are, same thing as Battlefield 2042, late betas, where they're going to barely have any time to develop or fix anything after the beta with community feedback, and then we're going to get the full release of the game, which is pretty much going to be beta 2.0. It's going to be the same cycle, people. I know we all want to be excited about Modern Warfare 2. Trust me, I do as well. I love Infinity Ward. The only game I didn't really care for was Modern Warfare 2019, but even though I didn't care for that game, I still saw all the potential. I saw that it could have truly been, honestly, a more favorite Call of Duty of mine if they actually fixed some of the fundamental problems that I hated since the start. But obviously, it was built from the foundation up, so you can't really really change anything when it comes to Foundation. Here we are with Modern Warfare the Second. I'm still worried a tad bit. I want to believe in them. I want to see what they're truly capable of, because I always love Infinity Ward. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. Shoot, I even enjoyed Call of Duty Ghost and Infinite Warfare. I'm one of those weirdos. So at the end of the day, I like them, but it doesn't mean that Activision has the right idea and path for the Call of Duty franchise. And also, these past Call of Duty introductions have been horrifying. Vanguard, Black Ops Cold War, World War II was a rough start. Black Ops 4 was a rough start as well, especially when it came to microtransactions. That really killed BO4 for me. The gameplay grew on me over time, but the microtransactions were just absolutely disgusting. Again, a lot of these games have been rough for Call of Duty. I want to believe that they have a good path here, but at the same time, you got to watch yourself when it comes to these new developers. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, bonus, I hate it, leave a dislike. Also, for brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so, over Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games, do over on Twitch, link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in, see you on the next one. Peace out.